What's going on? Hopefully by now everybody is done NWEA testing. Maybe some makeups, or just finishing what you didn't get done. But for the most part, we're done. Normal schedule tomorrow. It'll be Friday tomorrow, but we got a short class today. I think we'll mostly read and then have some time at the end of class just to get those essays caught up and stuff like that. Hopefully, we had the good class discussion. But things went down, right? So probably going to be starting at the hospital. Most of the main characters are at the hospital. We got the parents. We didn't get a lot of it. She just told us through those 5 things she didn't want to talk about, what her parents were saying. But I mean, the parents have a lot on their plate right now. They got a missing daughter in New York somewhere. They got one kid who's shot in the shoulder. So maybe Jules won't be the center of attention this time. That's good for her. All right, we ended right here after the blue. So let's get to it. Have you heard anything about the others? They're live, Sawyer says. Ben glances at Sawyer with a puzzled look. How do you know? I mean, I guess I don't know. Sawyer says, giving me a look that says he really does, because the vision changed. I'm sure, like mine did, right there at the end. But they were alive when the paramedics took them, so I hope. Top of the next column. Ben stands up, comes over to us. Hey, he says to me, I don't know if you remember, I'm Ben Galang, freshman, I say. Just voted in as next year's secretary. I smile. Your first charity event? Ben's face crumbles, and I feel terrible because he doesn't know everybody lives. He doesn't know how bad it could have been. Crap, I say. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. I'm just a stupid non-college student who is stupid. He holds back his emotion, and then he says, you guys saved lives. And you know what's funny in a not funny way? I almost forgot that part because I got so wrapped up in the clues that none of the tragedy seemed real. And I hate that about me. Sawyer shrugs and says, we just had the clearest view of what was happening. He looks at me. Got to stay on your toes when you run with Danger Girls crowd. I squelch a smile. You guys want to check on the others? I should get back to my family, see if I can get my parents to stop freaking out. Sawyer gives me a sympathetic smile, and then we hold each other for a long minute. Top of the next column. Unable to talk about it all right now, but both of us saying everything we can with a kiss to the forehead and one to the lips. When his arms stiffen, I turn around and he lets me go. My mother is there in the doorway. She shakes her head and opens her mouth to speak. Then she shakes her head again, like she can't believe my gall. My gall. I don't think anybody uses this anymore. But, well, I'll just pause it in case anybody knows. Like, I can't believe the gall you have. I think my mom used to say that, but I have no idea where it comes from. But it could be gallbladder. I don't know. But it's like, I can't believe you have the nerve. So we might change it. I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you had the guts to do that. I can't believe you had the gall. I don't think that's used anymore. So, and then she closed her eyes and sighs heavily. Hello, Sawyer, she says. I'm Mr. Marco. You're not badly hurt? Whoa, she's like a little concerned about him. No, ma'am. Oh, look at how polite he is. Your parents? She looks around. They're not here. She nods, unable to hide her relief. Well, we were just leaving, Sawyer says. He looks at Ben and the other guy, who now rests his hand on Ben's shoulder, and I wonder if he's Ben's boyfriend. So I don't know if I've shared my theory with everybody about maybe Ben and that guy, and Ben and Trey, maybe eventually, maybe becoming a couple. Looks like Ben is taken, so maybe Trey will have to keep looking. I'd like to thank your son, Ben says. He saved my life. Ben stops talking. Now's not a good time, my mom says. Tomorrow, when Antonio isn't here, that would be better. Ben nods. I'll come by. Thank you. My mother smiles grimly. I'm glad you're all okay. Sawyer and the others file out of the waiting room and go down the hallway to the elevator, top of the next column. I look at my mother, waiting for her to yell at me some more. And all she says is, Your father told me you know about his affair. It takes me a second to change gears. Yeah, I say, I do. I told him that. Her face is pained. Do the others know? Trey? Rowan? No. She looks away, and then she says, Do you know where in New York Rowan is? Her voice is broken and weak for the first time, and I realize she's trying to hide her tears from me. That's all she'll tell me. Yes. She's safe, Mom. She puts her hand to her eyes like a shield, a brim for the tears, and she breaks down, unable to hold in her sobs. And I stand there, scared and shocked, watching her cry for the first time, and I don't know what to do because we're not exactly a hugging family. And I don't think she probably wants me to. So I watch her, dumb, cold, as she sobs into her hand. And I hate that. I hate myself for not hugging her. I hate that the DeMarcos can yell like crazy, but that's the only emotion in our tiny repertoire of feelings that we're allowed to express. So just again, right there at the bottom there, 3 little dots. So probably we got a scene change. Some time is moving forward. Mom drives, and we ride in silence once Dad gets the clue that I'm not speaking to him no matter what he says to bait me. When we get home, I go straight to my room. The only DeMarco kid left, and I have no phone. No way of talking to Trey or Rowan without my dad eavesdropping. No way of calling Sawyer without Dad checking the numbers because he's so controlling and paranoid. So all I can do is lie on my bed in the dark, alone, and stare at the flashing light that pulses on my wall, thinking about the horrible event that happened today and wondering why I'm so blanking cold inside. 38. All right. So we definitely got some more time to talk. But what about, so part of the falling action here in these books, because we know we have one more, is like, where is that vision going to travel to? I think it was Tyler. Got to give him credit. He says that he's predicting that when Ben helped Sawyer to his feet in the room where the shooting went down, it's possible. It's possible the vision could have transferred to him. So we should be on the lookout for who is going to start seeing that vision. In the waiting room there, it didn't seem like Ben would right now, because there was no indication, at least no little inference there, I don't think, unless I missed it. If anybody saw it, let me know. But be on the lookout for that, the vision. Who gets it next? 38. In the morning, I grab my savings money, leave a note for my parents telling them I'll be with Trey all day at the hospital, and head down the stairs. The sky is still cloudy, but it's not raining. I debate taking the delivery car, but that'll just piss my parents off more, so I'll take the bus. I descend the steps and go outside. Top of the next column. Hey, says a voice. I whirl around, and there's Sawyer, standing next to the back door. You scared me, I say. Guess I'm a little gun shy. He cringes. Too soon. I nod. I don't know what my problem is. I feel like I just finished playing a video game or something. Like everything that happened yesterday wasn't real, and I don't know what's wrong with me. We walk to his car and get in. Your vision's gone? Completely. It's insane. I laugh, and he frowns again. It's not funny. I know. On the seat is the newspaper, and on the front page is a picture that looks familiar. I pick it up and open the fold and stare at the students in the quad outside the door to Godspeed Hall. In the foreground, paramedics are loading somebody into an ambulance, and students' faces are in agony. And then I read all about it, the whole story, plus some quotes from witnesses. 2 students. I don't know their names. They tackled the shooters and screamed for us all to run, and we did. We left them there and we just ran. I read that there were 2 other injured students who managed to make it out and down the elevator, and they directed the police to the right place. And I read about a guy who said, some girl ran by me and shoved a note in my hand that said to call 911. So I did. I didn't know her. I'd never seen her before. So at least we got some verification that that guy actually did what the note said. That was good. That helped. I look up and realize we're still sitting in the parking lot. And I can't read anymore because tears are streaming down my face. And I look at Sawyer and he's crying too. And he reaches over to me and holds me, and we cry together for a very long time. And it's real now. Suddenly, it's really freaking crazy real. That happened. And we're sitting right in the middle of it. Trey could have died. You're sure you're not seeing any more visions? I ask after I've wiped my eyes and we're on the road heading for the hospital. I'm sure. It's gone. Thank God. It's really over. But the relief I want to feel isn't coming. He glances at me. How'd you decide to come back? I'm not sure what he's asking at first, but then I realize what he means. The girl with the gun, she got off the bus I was going to get on, so I followed her. When did you figure it out? Top of the next column. I ran into Ben in the quad, and he was changing the location. He recognized me from the day before and asked where I lived. I told him I was still in high school, checking out the campus for the weekend, thinking about going there for college. I told him I thought what he was doing was cool. He latched onto that and sort of dragged me with him. And then I realized we were headed for a music classroom. And that's when everything came together. I tried calling you, but you didn't pick up. Figured you were on a bus asleep or something. He glances over his shoulder as we merge. Sorry about your phone. I never thought about you having it long enough to run out of minutes. I guess I figured your parents would get you a new phone when you started doing deliveries again. All right, so that's part of the problem, right? I think we've discussed that. Her parents are actually in no rush to get her a phone. Just kind of like, you deal with that. That's part of your punishment. They made me take Rowan on a few of the deliveries I did. I pause. It's my fault. I should have been keeping track of the minutes. That was a dumb mistake, and I cringed to think about how it could have wrecked everything. I almost freaked when I saw you sitting in that classroom. Wasn't that strange to finally be there to see it? I asked, remembering how it was when all of my crash vision stuff fell into place. It was spooky, horrible. He adjusts his hands on the wheel, and I notice his knuckles are all scraped up. I think about all the things that could have happened. One of the reasons I feel so weirdly detached from this is that I wasn't seeing it like I was the last time. I mean, this time I focused on the clues and figuring them out. I wasn't seeing body bags or dead students. I knew I had to trust you and do whatever you said. And that was really hard at first. But in the end, especially in those last seconds, I knew that was the only way to go. You were like navigating, and all I could do was listen and follow. I glance over at him, and you did it. Sawyer sighs, puts his elbows up next to the window. He scratches his head, smooths his fingers over his stitches. No, I didn't, Jules. That's the problem. I didn't stop them. They still managed to hurt people. They still managed to get attention for their hateful crap. I shift in my seat to look at him. Sawyer, you don't even know what you're saying. You saved almost a dozen lives. You're one guy, and you stopped this tragedy from being major. I wish I could have stopped that truck before we hit your building, or stopped it down the street before the guy had the heart attack and saved him. But we can't do everything. Top of the next column. The vision isn't a total fix. It's a chance to change a bad thing to something less bad. But there's no guarantee that everybody turns out fine. Come on, Sawyer, I say, my voice softening. Don't be so hard on yourself. The vision's gone. You did what you were supposed to do. Maybe those people needed to go through that experience in order to become the people they're going to be, you know? Maybe that experience triggers something inside of them that will help them become great. And maybe it will make them depend on prescription drugs or want to kill themselves. His voice is bitter. My mouth falls open. Are you serious right now? You think the vision gods or whoever gave us these chances so we could end up watching the people we saved turn into drug addicts? How the hell should I know? He yells. How the hell do you know? Are you just rationalizing it to make yourself feel better about almost getting killed? I don't know what I'm doing. I shout back at him. I'm just trying to save my life and get through it. Okay? So, what if I'm rationalizing? So what? Top of the next column. At least I'm dealing with this freak thing. Just because it's over doesn't mean I'm ready to deal with it. We're both quiet for a long time. And then Sawyer asks in a softer voice, when we're acting on a vision, do you ever wonder if we're invincible? And it's so almost funny in a superhero cartoon sort of way. But really, it's not funny at all because I thought it too. So maybe, okay, we got like 93% of the way through. Like you can tell as they're having that conversation there, reading the newspaper. I mean, this is definitely falling action, trying to put everything back together. And if there wasn't a sequel to this, like the third part of the trilogy, I would think that things would be wrapping up for good. But we do have to have that other little hint of a conflict or hint of a vision to carry it through to book 3. All right. Hopefully that's about it. Rest of the time, I think. I don't see why not. Rest of the time, essay stuff. All right. Let me know if you need any help. A lot of them have been coming along really nicely. I think maybe like 3 people are done. 3 people, I think. That's it. But some time here.